Hello and welcome. I'm Paul Pedron, the product manager for ZENworks Service Desk. If you haven't seen ZENworks Service Desk recently, well, today I'll give you a great look on the product enhancements and design so the right information gets to the qualified people, resulting in a quick resolution. Let's get started. The first thing you'll notice right off the bat is the odd colors that I put on the particular system, and that's because I wanted to show the flexibility of the branding. And it's all tied together in this one ZSD customization cookbook, TID 7025033. And this particular document has all the different TIDs, documentation, and different configuration settings that you could set for branding, scenarios, and different options that you have. So be aware that that particular technical document is there, and it will get your customer to the branding level that they want to be. So we're going to first log in as Mr. Ackerman. Let's increase the size just a little bit. And you'll see logging in as Mr. Ackerman as a customer. He's going to come in and his landing page is currently at the home. And he can do a number of things here. This was presented in 8.0. And you can see he has requests here, anything waiting for approval or quick calls, some knowledge base articles, and so forth. So you can also do a landing page for store or requests. And in here, we've enhanced this particular page to have other activities. You have your event status here for the call from a customer's point of view. You also have your filters for different categories, item types, and statuses. And you can see that there's attachments and so forth on these particular service calls that he's placed into the service desk. You have some totals here that you could see. There's also a filter to see the most recent or do a custom to view for the customer themselves. We're now going to go over to the technician portal and see how the changes for 8.2.1 have come about. Let's take a closer look as a technician and supervisor in the system. Oops, let me back up a second. At first, you can see we have a getting started page, and that's been in the product for a little while now. But let's exit out of that. As a supervisor, he gets that particular notice in case he needs to manage anything. And the particular landing page is set up for this particular user. So I'm going to go over to the user side where we can see some of the most recent changes. As you can see, this modern look and feel with the new coding has been introduced into the technician portal and gives us a more welcoming experience for the tickets that we have to work on. I'm going to adjust the screen a little bit so that we can start going through different items of improvement here. Let's have a quick overview of the technician portal then. So for instance, my tasks, service requests, incidents, change requests and problems, you could see the totals up here. Currently my task is selected. If I were to go to my active, you could see that there's only 2 and the numbers change as well. Go back to the system and you could see off to the right we have the item search. If we wanted to search particular items, we can go ahead and do so, and we see Sarah Ha has a ticket open for that. If we then go ahead and look for all of Alex's tickets, we can search directly in the customer row to see everything that has Alex's name on it. And then we also have over here, you can actually see what rows you want available in your listing. And that becomes important because if you want to print this out, right? So being able to adjust those columns is very important. You have your action keys over here for the particular highlighted ticket. You can close, approve, reject, so forth. Also, if you select the particular tickets or multiple tickets, you can do some group, open, close, reopen, deletes, and so forth. All right. And remember, I talked about the different areas where you have your columns. You can also resize these columns. You can sort them, move them around. You see the de-escalation and escalations, whether it's an incident, problem, or service request. And you also see the urgency on these as well. To the left, we have our filters, and you can actually create your own filters. So for instance, if we wanted to look at all active, actually all calls that are, let's say, medium priority, we hit apply, we could then save the filter. And for instance, I can save it. All high tickets. We do so. Now we have that as the current filter, but also we could share, okay, with the team, with the role. You can actually share if there's a common one that you're looking at. Somebody's on vacation and you have a team that needs to watch out after his calls. You can go ahead and do something like that. That's an example, okay? Or you can take it back to your all system again, all right? And they have all sorts of criteria and factors that you can sort on, all right? Once you're done with that, you wanted to export, you can go ahead and export to PDF, which is great. It'll do the existing 100 tickets that are here. If you wanted to export to Excel, which is really exciting, you can actually change these and have different fields that come in for the export itself. So you can actually manipulate that and get the fields that you want in that is important for that particular report. And then you can export the data. At the bottom, you have your open a new ticket request. And in this case, we'll do a quick call template. The power of quick calls and using a dynamic form has been integrated into this particular one. So for instance, I have an issue. I'm a customer. I'm Alex again. I'll open a ticket. It's a quick call. I'm going to go ahead and search my items. It's an HP printer. Yeah, that's the one I want. And it gives me a set of criteria for that particular printer to be able to understand what's going on with it. So it's smearing and getting smudges. It is deployed. It's in my area. Is it low on ink? Yeah, I got that particular symbol or that error message. And then the asset tag, we can go ahead and put in whatever it may be. And then it gives you identifying information. Identify the printer model. Yes, it is a 477, which will then say, oh, for that particular printer, is it a network or directly connected? I'm going to say it's directly connected. And the black is running out. And so based on that, I can go ahead and have, I need a black cartridge, right? Let's say, oh no, it's actually not. It's actually the HP4. And I got this one wrong, but it's an HP4. I see it, it's directly connected. It's black only. And based on that, you only have one cartridge. So the dynamic forms are very powerful. And when you first experienced it, we're just going to say, oh, I experienced it last week, and it's just getting worse and worse. Then you can also have the different areas and questions that you need, as well as dropping attachments into the ticket. And we're going to then go ahead and say create the requested ticket, and we could say it's 30. See, it's 33. That particular ticket opens up if you want it to. Goes to the request. You could see 33 here, Alex Ackerman. We're going to go ahead and open that up. Again, getting the right information to the qualified people for a quick resolution. Let's take a look at some of these particular areas. So we have attachments at the top. You can edit this if we forgot to put something in or didn't know it. We can go ahead and put it in. We could say, oh, near finance on Jack's desk. Okay. And we can go ahead and save that. We have printer ink low. All right. We also had smudges and stuff. If it's an alert, you can add an alert to it. There are some solutions here. We can add a solution or a workaround, as well as if there's others, you have a network outage and you have multiple calls, you can link the requests together. You can do a new link. You can do a new change. You can link them as a change request, an incident, or a problem. All right. Or you could just group them. Okay. Then if you look at the notes, we have some things here. You can expand this to see full view as well as the attachments. You can reply to it directly here. All right. If you do reply directly here, you have some options. Let's say the note says, oh, it's on order. You can change the status. You can include a direct link in the email so they can go directly to this particular call to see what the updates are. You can add attachments or they can comment on them. You have customers and technicians as well as CCs if you wanted to CC other individuals on this particular issue because you're watching your manager's printer or something. All right. And you have the different styles here. You can make it public or private. You can import an existing note from somewhere else. Let's say we replied to this note and we're going to say, okay, parts are on order, right? And we're going to go ahead and we're going to say, we're going to change the request. It is open at this time. We're going to hit add note. We can now see that there's two notes in here. And if I wanted to respond to this particular note, I can go ahead and view it again. Or I can reply here, edit, make it a proposal, and then email. All right. And so if we did an edit, we can also add a note. Oh, we're editing that one. We're gonna add a note and say parts are in. Parts are in. When can I come by? Right. We're gonna change this. We can say, oh, it's on hold. Client action because they're not always open. Regular hours. We need to schedule a time. We can include a direct link to this particular person's email address and send him that note, as well as create a knowledge base article from it. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit OK. You can see the notes are building down here. You can also see as we get more and more, you can scroll left or right. And then the visibility is here as well, public or private. And then you can comment on each one of these directly. So you have a lot of communication going on through these notes if you need be. Okay. And let's not forget about the bottom where there's an audit trail on all of this, right? Notes are being added. There's a couple of pages of notes. There's a PDF that you can grab in case you need it. All right, then we're going to go and we can see here that we have it assigned. We have all the detailed information. We're going to go ahead and actually propose this one to be open. The client called us back and said, okay. We're going to then go ahead and show closed resolved. Actually, we can go to a note and say needed cartridge for smears. Okay. One thing to note is the visibility up here is private or public. If it's private, you can't really make a propose. You can do a draft and you can add the note. So if you need to get back to it, you can save the draft and open it later and edit it. Or if you go public, you can actually say, okay, I'm going to propose this as a resolution to the customer. And then you can now see we're now building up those notes. As we go ahead and resolve this particular issue, we can see that Create KBA is here. And we're going to go ahead and, again, put it back to open. And then we're going to go ahead and do close resolved and save. And you can now see that there's a solution here. All right, so it automatically fills that in and it's available for others to be attached to it. Again, you have this up arrow to be able to move around a little bit quicker. You have a few more things to do here if you're duplicating this particular call or you need to export. If you need to change it into an incident from a service request or vice versa, if you want to take ownership of it, delete, print, and then of course similar requests. And you could also see down here when you integrate it with ZENworks, you can actually do bundle management and remote control from this pane, launching the ZCC remote control and bundle management. So you actually can do your service desk and bundle management and remote control all from this particular console. Now let's look over at our knowledge base because we had one created. And we can see here that we do have the ink smearing for smudges. It has been completed. And we can then edit this particular article, put in screenshots or whatever we need, have attachments. There's history on this particular one to see where it came from and who's edited it. There's also a view for the particular knowledge base article, all here in the knowledge base. And another spoiler alert, 8.3, we're redesigning the knowledge base so that it has a new modern look and feel for a better customer and user experience. Oh, and one thing I almost forgot. If you're out in the field and you're a technician and you wanted to confirm that particular item on that ticket, you can open up your ticket on your mobile phone, use your camera and scan a barcode, and it will tell you if that particular item is accurate or not. So there is a configuration to be able to use barcode scanning on your mobile phone if you have the app open on your mobile phone. Let's go over to another configuration. That way we could see a few things on the store. Why are you concerned about the store? Well, the store actually allows you to integrate with ZENworks configuration management using the bundles that you've already invested in to be able to apply to users or their desktops, as well as other items. So for instance, if we go to the store here, we can see the different categorizations. We can look for any hardware that we can purchase. Oh, we do have a laptop that we're able to do. We can clear. If there's a standard bundle, let's say Google Chrome, that's not on every box, but somebody needs it, you put it in the store, they can self-provision and self-help themselves. And you already have that bundle in ZENworks Service Desk. And what it will do is it will basically automatically deploy that bundle and integrate with ZCC to show that that is now one of the devices that have that bundle. So if we go to a laptop, for instance, and we decide to provision a laptop or request for provisioning, we could then go ahead and we see that there's a dynamic form. Spoiler alert, that's coming in 8.3. And you can go ahead and have your different questions of what the technician is to expect when he gets on site. So for instance, maybe they have a special keyboard that they want to keep. Maybe they have speakers or a docking station or a printer that's direct attached, which means you'll need to do drivers. So you can do a dynamic form to get all the information that you need for that particular service call. And so we do see that there is a line manager installed. If there's an attachment, we can do so. If we try to hit request, you could see that we haven't put anything in this particular field. Now this is a dummy field for show, so we'll just do hello in there, and we're going to go ahead and open this request. Now if we go back over to my home, I can see in my request that I've requested a laptop from the store. If we open it up, we can see the different details here. And we can go ahead and add notes, resolve it, or whatever. The power of ZENworks, integrated with ZENworks Service Desk, helps provide enhanced functionality, getting the right details to the qualified person for a quick resolution. Thank you for listening to this presentation. It is just a small sample of the innovation and capabilities of the ZENworks Service Desk. Get more information about ZENworks Service Desk by visiting its products page and download a trial version. Remember, if you own a ZENworks product, you are entitled to your own 2-user licensed copy of ZENworks Service Desk Standard for use by your organization, enabling you to do a complete implementation of ticketing in store. I'm Paul Pedron, Product Manager for ZENworks Service Desk. Thank you for your attention today, and stay safe.